Welcome back, Gabbers, and hello from the studio. My name is Kate.
My name is Carolyn.
I'm acting like we haven't been in the studio, but we actually have. I'm just so used to being remote that it still feels like a treat when I get to sit here right next to you.
I was going to say, I hope you enjoy it, because man, do I.
Yeah, it is
Man, do
nice.
I.
Let me hold you for a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope y'all
Okay,
felt that.
never touch me again. Even though I asked
That
for
was
it.
weird. That's like, Grace, she was my maid of honor. Whenever we see each other, we're like, we're not hugging. It's weird.
Yeah.
We get one hug a year, and that's about all we get.
I feel like I'm not very like touchy with my friends. Like my best friends, I do not touch.
It's like, what are you doing?
Friends, I like sometimes put my arm around them and give them a hug. But yeah, it's like my best friends. I'm like, you know how I feel about you.
Yeah, we don't need to do this.
Like, what am I
song
trying to
and
prove
dance.
here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know I love you. I don't need to like show it.
Is touch one of your love languages?
No, I know what my love language is. Well, maybe I think here's the thing about love languages. I think they're all one of our love languages. No one like hates receiving gifts. You know what I'm saying? But it's just maybe not your number one. I noticed my love language is.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Because I think you and I are the same. Acts of service.
Carolyn, did I tell you that before?
No.
That is 100%.
You seem like an acts of service girl.
Yeah, like, and I never knew that, but like when I first started dating Dan, he like took my trash out, and I was like, oh my God.
Seriously?
Thank you.
That's like pornographic.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Kyle was like, I'm going to clean the apartment for you. And I swear when he took out that like Dyson,
it did something to you.
It did. I felt things in places.
Yeah. It doesn't take much. The bar is low. I used to say that, like Dan actually would say that to me when he would be like, oh, you know, do you want me to do this? Or he'd like put a dish away and I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. And he's like, Kate, I made it dirty.
That's like
that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
It would be weird if I didn't do this, Kate.
Maybe this just proves that we just didn't have great pickers.
Yeah.
Like before who we're with now.
Yeah, it's all good signs for sure.
But yeah, definitely acts of service. Okay, so last week, obviously, we had like a pre-recording that I obviously spilled the beans to the Gabbers, but you know I'm a truthful bitch. So I do kind of want to like catch us up on some like big reality TV news that's been going down. Because a lot's been going down.
Yeah, you said that, and I thought some was. I didn't realize this much.
Well, I
so
just
I'm
feel
excited.
like it's a lot. Well, first let me ask you.
Well,
like,
we also missed a week, so yeah.
Have you been watching Southern Charm?
Yes.
Is that one of your favorite Bravo shows, I feel like?
Yes, and for a period of time, I said it was the best show on Bravo. But that's a long time ago. But that used to be number one.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely very unique. Well, you know what I found out this morning?
What?
So I've been watching White Lotus. Have you been watching White Lotus?
Yes, we started it last night, season 3.
And you know, like the Southern family?
Is from Southern Charm. Yes, I saw that from your TikTok.
No, I didn't make a TikTok
I did not see it from your TikTok.
But it's weird because I filmed the TikTok. I just haven't posted it yet. But you know what, Carolyn? It's safe to bet that I maybe made a TikTok about it at some point in time, but I didn't make one about that yet.
I saw it online today and I was like, oh, that's so funny.
I did post on my Instagram story that the mom is like Miss Patricia. So maybe,
yes.
And then the dad's voice, if I close my eyes, I'm like,
it's
that's Thomas
Ravenel. 100%.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, you could tell. Like, that wasn't an old country accent. That was an old Charleston accent.
Well, and Cameron Eubanks, who was in like the beginning of Southern Charm. I loved her.
I know, me too. It's such a shame that she's not
It's such a shame that she chose to move on with her life and have a family
for me,
and live
it's a shame
beautifully.
For me.
But she even posted like, you guys are echoing exactly what I've been thinking. I, from the beginning, thought that was Thomas. And that's not a North Carolina accent. That's an old Charleston accent.
Yeah,
the Charleston. Speaking of Southern Charm, have you heard of this whole Sienna drama? How Sienna's been posting videos online, like giving her side of the story?
Okay, yes and no. I just finished this week's episode, so spoiler alert, I've seen him basically be in denial about the situation, send the text, and I would love to hear her side.
So her side, basically Sienna posted like a series of TikToks where she basically just said, first she said, I was not talking to Whitney before. Whitney direct requested me on Raya. We weren't even matches. He said, how are you? I said, I'm good. How are you? And he never answered, which if she's finding Whitney and Shep on Raya, I'm like, how large are their radiuses? Like, are they looking for people 3,000 miles away?
Sometimes I wonder, she had to have been in LA. I bet she was in LA for like a shoot or something. Or not in LA. She must have been in Charleston.
Maybe.
For something.
Who's to say?
I mean, yeah, that would be insane.
But she said her and Shep like, she goes, she still stands by, she never watched Southern Charm. Yes, her grandma was a big fan, but she was like, do you watch the shows your grandma watches? No, like, I never. And I was like, fair. But she basically stands by her story is, Shep and I were talking. I liked him. I didn't know he was on a show. I wasn't using him to be on a show. I don't need him. I'm a model. I travel. I have my own company. And that's that. So she didn't say much.
Right.
She's not really answering the questions that I want answered, which is, and I heard this on the Southern Charm after show, Rodrigo had mentioned, like, Sienna, they all went on like a triple date trip where it was like Shep and Sienna, Austin and Aubrey, and Rodrigo and his husband, boyfriend. I think his name's Tyler. When I heard Rodrigo say that, I go, so you guys like were doing a lot more than you're letting off.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Like, I understand why Shep is so confused as to why all of a sudden you're acting like you barely know him. They've been on many trips together. If you look them up online, there's a ton of photos of them, selfies, and they're doing friend trips. So I get it.
You know what it screams to me? It screams they had a thing, but they never defined it, and she found someone else, and she's dating someone else now.
Yeah, and I think that's what everyone's saying. Or they had a thing, they never defined it. She didn't really want to be publicly in a relationship because she wants to maybe like fuck around with other people.
Right.
And now this relationship is being brought to TV.
And she's like...
So she can't be acting the way she was acting with Shep in private, because then it's going to look like she's in a relationship.
Right.
But I don't know if she wants to give off that air.
Those vibes. Well,
but that text was crazy.
That text made me feel better about some things I've done in my past.
Yeah, the fact that he's like 42 years old and like, I can see it on your freckled lips. But all the women and the men even in the after show were like, that was a beautiful text. It was really poetic. The one thing we love about Shep is that he always says what's on his mind. Like, he's not calculated. Like, so they seem to believe like he means it.
I can see that. He's a very, I've said this before and I don't like it because it sounds like I'm like licking his butthole. He's very intellectual. He's smart. He's well read. He thinks about things the way that he says things. Sometimes you're like, oh, he's not a dumb guy.
No.
I do believe that he likes the finer things and the readings and the books.
I agree. When Molly said that, she was like, it's rare, which Molly is like obsessed with this man. She's like, it's rare that I meet someone that has a higher vocabulary than I do, but that's Shep. It's like, Molly,
yeah, sweet Molly, we want so much more for you.
Yeah, it's Shep.
Because we're always on her side now.
It's so funny how, like, when there are worse men in Bravo, you start, like, glorifying the men that were bad, like, the season before. It's like, now everyone kind of, like, doesn't love Craig and Austin, and we're like, we want Shep to get with Molly. It's like, but Shep was so mean to Taylor just last season.
Yep, called her fucking idiot and all that stuff.
I saw a really good comparison. It was from one of my favorite podcasts, Celebrity Memoir Book Club, and they were saying that Shep, it was almost like a game of blackjack. Like, he had Taylor, and Taylor was pretty great, and they had a really good thing going, aka he was at 20 in blackjack, and at the last minute he said, you know what, hit me, I think I might be able to get something better. And they hit him and he busted.
Yeah, that's such a
not
good
in a good way busted, but and they hit him and he busted, and he lost Taylor, and now it's this Sienna who we thought would be a better thing, and she like isn't a better thing.
Well, karma is a thing I believe in.
I agree.
And such instances reinforce my belief in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is good to kind of see him mopey. I think that's what Madison said. It's nice to see him mopey for a second.
I hope that this means whoever he dates next, he will actually treat them with the respect that they deserve and not take them for granted. He needed this taste of his own medicine. The validation that Taylor is getting is unparalleled. I don't love Taylor, but I am kind of like, good for you, girl.
She doesn't have to do much. She can sit back and just watch.
And she has been, I would say, pretty nice to him over this trip.
Yeah, there's only that one scene where she tried to insinuate, like, you're fucking this up. And the guys came to his defense of like, no, actually, this other girl is like stringing him along.
Yeah, no, actually, he was a dick to you and actually hated you, but he actually likes this girl. So
exactly.
He's actually into this one.
It's nuts. We have never seen it before.
And are you caught up on Summer House? Mm-hmm. Now this is a season. By the time we're recording this episode, we're 2 episodes in. And I feel like there's like maybe 3 really big themes so far. Lindsay's pregnancy and like her interacting with Carl. Big theme. Jesse and Lexi and Ciara and West. I feel like those are like the big storylines so far.
Yep. I'd +1 to that.
When it comes to Lindsay's pregnancy, I think I'm like so eye-rolly of Carl like playing the victim. And I think it's easy to fall into that like, well, I do kind of feel bad for him. he hasn't slept with anyone since Lindsay, and Lindsay's pregnant. That's an insane fact. But he did break up with her. And Lindsay shouldn't have to go up and say hi to him and go out of her way to say hi to him. When it comes to her pregnancy, though, I definitely think the boys, Jesse and West, questioning the timeline and what's the last name going to be, I think those are valid questions.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with it. I thought you were going to say, I thought those were distasteful questions.
I think that maybe what's the baby's last name going to be, but you also have to remember, this happened so out of nowhere. They don't even know this dude.
Yeah.
They've never met this guy.
Literally no one knows who he is.
Where they last left off, she was engaged and going to get married to Carl. Like, I do think it's okay for them to be a little confused trying to wrap their head around this whole thing.
I understand that, but also at some point when you're having a baby, there's no turning back. It's like as much.
Yeah, you're not talking her out of it.
Yeah, it's like this baby is coming,
cooking.
and like whatever happens. I'm watching Real Housewives of Atlanta right now, and Candy is having a thing with Portia and Portia's new man. She thinks like he's been around town and stuff, but then Portia gets pregnant, and Candy says, "All that I said, it doesn't matter now. I'm fucking moving forward." It's like there's a baby there. That is all that matters from this point in time.
That's a good point. You're locked in.
Yeah, you're locked in. Who cares? Like whatever the name is, we're gonna love the last name.
Yeah, exactly.
Like whatever it is.
Kufe, I think is how you pronounce it. Maybe. Well, I always thought it was Koof, but I heard her say it on a podcast. It's Kufe.
You did say it was Koof. I think I said it was Koof too.
I thought it was Koof. It's spelled Kufe. I was saying Koof.
Well, I saw a rumor that they broke up.
I saw that too. And then she was asked about it on Watch What Happens Live 2 weeks ago. And she didn't say yes or no. She just said, well, he's backstage right now. He's here with me. So
Okay.
I don't really know what that means.
Troubles in
It's
paradise.
confusing. I also think I'm so sick and tired of everyone saying, why is Lindsay on Summer House if she's pregnant? Why is she doing this share house if she's pregnant? I don't understand. She's having a baby. She needs to move on, blah, blah, blah. Because she's getting paid.
Yeah.
Because that's her job. Because she's trying to make money. She doesn't have the baby. And I always compare this. Snooki went on Jersey Shore when she was pregnant. Still had a fun season.
Yeah, and people were not like, no, Snooki. We loved it.
Right. The Jersey Shore was one thing. Snooki had to move out of that house because it was too much of a party house. The fucking Summer House isn't even that much of a party house anymore. I mean, the girls are getting back from the bar at midnight.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
It is a lot less intense than it used to be.
And it's such a big house.
Yep.
Like, people could be partying in the kitchen and you could be in your room and not even hear it.
Exactly. So it's like, would you take a job if someone said, hey, would you hang out with your friends for another summer and get paid $500,000 for it?
Yes.
Yes.
And by the way, not even the whole summer, just every Friday and Saturday.
Okay, every Friday and
Remember,
Saturday.
she went home. They were like, oh, it's the big 4th of July party. She goes, yeah, I'm actually heading out.
Yeah, just show up when you want. You can sleep at the other end of the house. There won't be, like, you'll be fine.
It's literally 2, 4, 6, 8 days out of the month. Wow,
Yeah.
it took way too long to do that math.
It's 2 plus 1.
It's literally 2, 4, 6, 8.
Plus 1 more.
It's just like a couple of days.
Yeah.
But I'm sick and tired of that. I want to know your takes on Jesse and Lexi.
Good for Jesse. Okay, this is my question. What's their age difference?
So, funny you should ask. I think she's 26 and he's 31. But
Okay.
Ciara was asked about that. Ciara and Lindsay went on Watch What Happens Live after the premiere. And Ciara even said the two girls are so young.
Yeah.
But they're only 2 years younger than me. Ciara's only like 29. I think at the time they were
Oh.
like 26 and 27. And she goes, but they're so young.
They feel so young.
And I know plenty of people that are young, 2-3 years younger than me. My fucking boyfriend is 2 years younger than me, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel that way. But I know other people that are 2-3 years younger than me. And I'm like, oh, you're 3 years younger than me. Like, you can
Yeah.
just tell in the difference of personalities.
Well, and it sounds like she's had a very unconventional upbringing with the model travel life. And
she used to date Brooklyn Beckham.
Shut up.
David Beckham's son, yeah.
oh man,
And she used to date, I don't know this dude's first name, but Kaya Gerber's brother, Cindy Crawford's son.
oh,
So
damn.
she definitely, and now she's with Jesse Solomon.
Are they still together?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll see it play out. I think that Jesse was major fuckboy this season. I think he tries to get with Ciara.
Does he really?
I think that's what I'm getting from the trailers.
I think Jesse is infatuated with this girl and thinks she's really fucking hot and thinks it's cute and that she's so giggly and like just I think that's where it ends.
I think it's I think he's being a bit too much.
Yeah.
I think it's a little weird.
A lot. He's leaning into the bit.
It's like funny and goofy, but then like I remember in the beginning of when he was on Summer House last season, when he was like hardcore flirting with Paige, I'm like, maybe this is just your thing.
Yeah.
Like maybe you just come on really strong and see if it sticks.
Yeah. And I mean, good for him, but I don't know. He was then hammered and it was kind of sweet when he was talking to her about serious stuff.
No, they seem like they are both equally into each other. Yeah. I don't love how he was like, do you consider yourself ditzy? Have you taken the ACT? It's like, dude,
that was fucked up.
You're both on a reality show.
Yeah.
So your trajectories in life have led you right here.
Yeah, you are crossing. You're on the same train right now, my friends.
Not that being on a reality show is bad, but I'm just like, don't act like you're so above her. Yeah. She's definitely worth more than you.
Yeah.
Like, so we weren't required to take the ACT.
I'm just hoping.
What does that even mean?
He was hammered. He seems very drunk throughout the show.
And you know what? As he should be.
Yes, which I know is, for better or worse, is what we love.
Yeah. And then Ciara and West. I'm over it. I'm
done. I don't even want to talk about it.
Will say
I'm just kidding. We can talk about it.
Well, I'll just say quickly. I am kind of over and done. Don't want to talk about it. I understand how they're so different, where Ciara wants to call his ass out in front of everyone and West is kind of like, can we like talk about this in private?
Yeah.
I appreciated that he went into her room to say, let's talk about this, because although he was in the wrong, totally in the wrong, wasn't obviously being vocal and communicative and talk shit about her in the press. Like, that sucks. When he had a reunion to do that, regardless, they can't be like this all summer.
No. And they have to move past this.
And yeah, this said something to me. When she went into the room and said to Paige, after I just yelled at him, I kind of wanted to make out with him.
You think
she still likes him? No, but I think she still likes him. He has learned his lesson. And I think that's a big reason why he's not about Jesse and Lexi. Because if in Wes's mind, he's like, dog, I've done this last summer. And look at how it ended for me.
Yeah, he doesn't want to shit where he eats.
Do you want this to end this way for you? Like, I think West can kind of see Jesse's future. And it's not looking pretty.
No.
So I don't think that he would ever get with Ciara again. But based off what Ciara said to Paige, I think she would get with him again.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
All those cues, that makes a lot of sense to me.
I think she wants him to be like begging for her back. And,
yeah. That's not going to happen.
And then lastly, unless you have more, I mean, there's like so many realities. Like, Southern Hospitality has been great. Love is Blind I thought been pretty good.
I'm not caught up, but it's been.
I'm not caught up either. I thought it was boring in the beginning, but now I think it's pretty good. And then the Traitors, are you caught up?
Sure am.
Guys, Danielle. Here's the thing. It's just too much. It's too much theatrics for me.
Well, you would think it'd be too much theatrics for them, but it's clearly not.
Yeah. Well, okay. You want to know the tea?
Yeah.
I have to do more research about this, but I heard this in passing. The tea is that Danielle broke her NDA and told Brittany that she was a traitor. And said to Brittany, if you help me get Carolyn out, I will recruit you. You can be a traitor with me and we will take the whole thing. Which would make sense as to why everyone went so hard against Carolyn and how all of a sudden Brittany and Danielle are best friends and doing everything together.
Holy shit, my jaw has been on the floor for that entire explanation. That would make so much sense.
It makes so much sense.
It's like, it's too convenient. And the way that she was like so begging for her to be the traitor.
The recruit.
Yeah, the recruit was just weird.
Yeah.
And Carolyn's like, you must see how I can't let this happen.
Obviously.
Like, I can't let you do this.
Obviously.
And then the switch to Carolyn so fast. There had to be some more gas behind it from something. That would make a lot more sense.
Because she wanted another chance to recruit. Because she wasn't able to recruit Brittany.
Yeah. And then if she wanted Brittany to help her get her out, that was like more energy going towards that happening.
Yeah.
Because I felt like Carolyn had it. I feel like we all thought Carolyn had it. She would have gone to the end.
I thought Carolyn had it. And then in that round table, I even thought she had it in that round table. But when Dylan voted against Carolyn, that's when I was kind of like, okay, maybe her argument wasn't that strong.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Dylan is a great gauge.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good at the game. So I don't know what I wished Carolyn would have done though. And granted, she might have done it. There's so much edited out that we don't see. But Danielle was coming at her hard.
Yeah.
Comparing her to Forrest Gump,
Yeah.
that's a little insensitive.
It would have gone on a sheet for sure.
She would have gotten points for that one. But during that chess challenge, when Carolyn said, oh, I think that the traitors don't listen to me, and everyone was kind of like, it's kind of weird that you're like nominating yourself for that. Carolyn should have been like, during that round table, see, This is why I think the traitors don't listen to me. Danielle has talked over everything I've been trying to say. Anything I say is going in one ear and out the other. All she wants to do is vote me out because she thinks that, I don't know. I just feel like she had so many points against Danielle, but Danielle just seems so polarizing.
Yeah.
And I've heard from interviews with Chrishell and Ciara that Danielle has been swearing up and down on her grandkids. Which, she's a traitor. You have to lie to win. I do get that mentality, but none of these other people except for Brittany right now are Big Brother players. Big Brother players are cutthroat. You can't swear on your grandkids to a bitch that's on Selling Sunset and expect her not to, like, she's gonna believe you.
Oh my God. It's like when Wes on Last House of Villains swore on
his daughter.
Or swore on his daughter or swore on.
No, he swore on his daughter and Jesse swore on his kids, but then Jesse went against it. And Wes was like, how fucking dare you make me swear on my kid?
Then I'm thinking of the guy who got out in Traitors because he was like, oh, it was the drag queen.
Oh, Bob the drag queen.
Bob the drag queen, because he said he swore on God because he doesn't believe in one.
Right. But wait, you just opened my eyes to something crazy by saying House of Villains, though, because isn't that what happened with Wes and Jesse, where Jesse forced Wes to swear on his kids? Jesse then went back on it. Yep. Jesse's a Big Brother player. Big Brother players will swear on anything. You cannot trust them. They play a different game.
It's dirtier.
Yeah. So you can't really blame it, but I can understand why. It's like, as a viewer, I'm like, how is nobody getting out Danielle? It's so obvious. It's like, because they genuinely believe her. They've never played with somebody like her before.
The shaking and cry, I mean, seizure-esque is unbelievable.
Also, one of my friends said this to me, and they're so right. If she was so confident that Carolyn was a traitor, then why did she act like that?
Why was she? Why'd she need medic attention? Like, what is going on? I totally
you voted for Carolyn. You turned the whole table against Carolyn. You seemed pretty confident it was Carolyn. So why are you acting so shocked?
Why is it throwing you into an epileptic fit?
Literally,
like, you're okay.
I would have laughed.
It's just, I know it would have been really hard not to laugh. But I agree. Not Brooklyn. What's the Zaffron's brother's name?
Oh, Dylan.
Zaffron. Spoonerism, I do think he's a good judge of character. So when he said voted for Carolyn, I was like, oh, there must be more to it that we don't see.
Yeah. All I hope is that, I saw this on Reddit, someone said, the editors have really led us to root for Carolyn and root against Danielle. Yeah. So now that Carolyn is out and Danielle is still in, it's like, who do we have left to root for?
Yeah, and how is this going to end?
Maybe she recruits Brittany and then Brittany turns on her. That would be sick, but I don't think that's going to happen. Or it should end how it is meant to end, where Dylan Efron wins it all.
Yeah.
Or it could end how... where we would have to dedicate a whole podcast episode to this. Tom Sandoval could win it.
Oh my God. The fact that he's still there.
The fact that he's still there and that him and Dolores are still voting against each other.
Is hilarious.
It's amazing.
This doofus edit is doing so well for him.
All right. So I feel like that's our good set. God, it's like, I love recapping VPR, but sometimes I'm like, Carolyn, we just need to talk about this.
We just need a gab.
But let's recap VPR while we're at it.
Yeah. And so from one to the other.
Let's do it. It's a normal trajectory.
Back in time.
So we're in season 2, episode 5, titled Surlesque. Great episode title.
Great, yes. And interned it very well.
They did a great job. Our first scene is at Sur. It's during the day. And Natalie calls in Stassi and Katie to tell them that she's organizing a surprise party for Guillermo, who is her husband, that she wants girls who are 20 years younger than him and both of their employees to dance on him and seduce him / their other boss's husband for his birthday. That's an HR violation.
It's more than an HR violation.
That's
like a human
jail
rights
time.
violation.
That's jail time. That's prison.
That's prison.
That's the Me Too movement before Me Too existed.
You know what I would not do for my boss? Dance burlesque in my underwear, let alone dance burlesque in my underwear for my boss in front of an entire restaurant full of people.
And it's not even the fact that it's their boss. It's also their boss's husband.
Yes, my boss's husband.
Weird.
It's such a strange request. And I didn't realize till a later scene that she was Guillermo's wife.
Yeah.
I thought she was just like a manager and they were all in on this like fun thing. I
think this is like the only episode that they even mentioned that they're husband and wife, and then it's never really mentioned again.
It was never mentioned again. And when that happened, my jaw dropped even further on the floor because I was like, holy shit, she's asking these kids to get naked on her husband and like, please, will you please do it?
They can't say no. You're their boss.
Can't say no.
They literally can't say no. So then the Inas show up, Karina, Marina, Bettina, whatever the fuck their names are, and they go over this routine. And Lisa decides, I'm going to show them how it's done. And all I could think, Lisa always tries to be like, oh, you girls think you're sexy? Let me show you a thing or two, which is the Lisa charm. But to me, I feel like she's just reminding Katie why her boyfriend wants to fuck Lisa Vanderpump. Katie's like, I get it, Lisa.
You know what? This scene made me wonder, like, what the fuck goes on in Ken and Lisa's bedroom.
Do you think they're actually as sexually promiscuous as she lets up? Or do you think they literally never have sex?
Well, he's a feeble man. Maybe she's just run him ragged.
Maybe.
Behind closed doors.
He just needs to lay there.
He can starfish as much as he wants. There doesn't need to be a
I
lot
just can't
happening.
picture them having sex at all. I really can't.
I can. Well, especially because she was like the way younger chick back in London and he was the older bloke. And like, I don't know. Like I can see it within her.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
So then we transition into Sir at nighttime, and it is Ariana's first official like night working at Sir. Sheena is eating this up. Sheena is just so fucking happy to finally have a friend. She says a crazy line about Ariana. She says, everybody is intimidated by the hot new tiny blonde with the great ass, but I'm just hanging out with my best friend. Imagine if someone, you know what, I would actually love it if somebody described me like that, actually, now that I think about it.
I had another quote, which if we still did ASMR, I was like, oh, that'd be such a good ASMR quote.
Okay, ASMR right now then.
Sir is the #1 place for Cray.
Yeah. When she said Sir's #1 place for Cray, my first thought was they said Cray back then.
Me too. I was like, oh man, today I learned. It's been around for a while.
I didn't know it's been around that long.
I forgot, man.
So then we go to Tom and Kristen's apartment. They're getting ready for their passport photos. Do people actually, like, did you ever do this? Like, sure, I did like my makeup nice, but.
Okay, so let me see. Last time I had to get my passport redone was 2016. And you can.
You're almost due.
I know, which is fucking.
You have to do it within 6 months of it expiring.
Weird. Well, good to know. I need to change my name and get a new one and all that shit too.
That's
So
a
I'm
whole
not
thing.
excited about that. But you could kind of do the photos on your own. But at this point, don't you have to like go into a place?
I just went like last year and I went to CVS to get it done and they like took a photo and printed it for me and then I sent it. I think you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she was going to a passport place. I don't know why she's picking out an entire fucking outfit. They literally photograph you from your collarbones up.
Well, it's giving Khloe Kardashian with bringing like the full light crew to the DMV is what I'm saying.
See, that was funny. But that was funny. That was a bit.
But like, I bet Kristen, if she had the means, would absolutely do something similar.
Well, she's treating it like it's fucking headshots. Like you're not gonna do anything.
You know what else she treated like a headshot?
Her mugshot?
Yes.
And Carolyn, before you ask, I could not find it online. I looked everywhere. I looked on Reddit. This mugshot does not exist online.
No, I would have paid like $5 for like a database to give it to me.
I don't disagree that the mugshot was good. I think they use like a special kind of camera. Like I've always enjoyed my license photos too, where I'm kind of like, what kind of camera is that back there?
Yeah,
Like,
they do you favors.
so like the straight on mugshot, black and white, classic.
It was so cute though.
I would, I'm gonna have to DM Kristen. Please, bitch.
She'll want to share it since it looks so great.
She might not want that shit out in the open though. Now that she has a baby on the way.
It's true. Damn, they change everything.
I know,
man.
stupid
Fun
babies.
suckers.
And then during this scene where she's at Tom and Kristen's, Stassi receives a call that Jax has a lump on his chest, and that's really all we know so far. Is that he has a lump on his chest.
No, Kate. He says he has a lump on his chest. It might be a cyst. He doesn't know, but either way, he's going to have surgery.
Oh, he says that immediately?
And then they're going to take X-rays right now, which makes no.
They're gonna do surgery to take it out, and then they're gonna X-ray it. Also, I'm sorry, you don't go to the hospital and immediately get surgery. Like, this is the American healthcare system. He's going to have to wait at least 4 to 6 months for this surgery.
He was like, it's a breast cancer or it's a cyst. I don't know. Either way, they're going to have to do surgery on it, though. They're about to take me for X-rays. That was the natural progression of things.
That is not how it works. I actually, this is like so like not funny, but I'm okay. But I had a lump in my chest when I was like 19. I was super young. I had it in my boob. I just was thinking of Jax in this scene thinking of myself in this scene because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And my first thought was never that I had cancer. I just was like, all right, I have this thing. We're going to get it checked out. We're going to figure like, obviously I was like, it could turn into that. But for him to so immediately be like, I have breast cancer.
Wait, okay. I didn't understand if he was saying, did he have a history of men having breast cancer in his family? Is that actually a thing?
He was just saying a lot of shit. He said breast cancer and history of cancer in the same sentence. I think it sounded like he said that, but I do think he has a history of cancer because I looked it up, and that is what his dad died from. But he had like, I can't even say the word, the esophagus one.
No, my grandfather died of that.
And his dad died at 61. So he was really young.
My grandfather died in his 60s.
Wow.
From that same one.
So it's like, as much as I am, like how Jax is acting, and we'll obviously get to it throughout this episode, is so ridiculous. I do think it was a valid concern. His dad ends up dying from cancer. So.
I know. But to be fair, the dad is very alive still.
Yeah. And
we haven't had that traumatic experience yet. But I do wonder what the fuck Kate is going into those pills, those protein powders. Why? I feel like it's the unspoken thing of this episode of like, why do protein powders give you like cancer? Is it testosterone?
Do they?
I wonder if she's suggesting they do roids or something.
That's a good question.
Kristen goes, it's literally the first thing that comes up when you Google men and whatever. And you know what? I Googled it. I can confirm it was the first thing that comes up. That if you take hormones, which I'm assuming, I think they mentioned it was testosterone, that you can create extra breast tissue as a man because of the hormone imbalance. So that's 100% what's
You're
happening.
Right. And Kristen does say, do you think they're taking estrogen instead? Okay, thank you, because that kind of went right over my head, because when Stassi goes over Jax's house and just starts dumping all his shit, I was kind of like, saying, I'm like, why are you doing that?
She was like, you want sympathy from me when you're having a protein shake? Like, protein shakes are generally healthy things to have.
Yeah, but they definitely take more than just
exactly.
that.
Well, that's
Kristen
what I'm
says
saying.
They take testosterone, which...
And would that explain everything? I mean, they talk about it as if it is like it was a euphemism for something.
Yeah.
And if that's just testosterone, I guess that makes sense. But I mean, he was saying like, I've done this shit since high school, blah 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 blah. I mean, there's so much talk around these protein shakes.
Interesting.
So I was like, what the fuck is in them?
Yeah, I don't know. I literally thought Stassi was just throwing that shit away to be a bitch. I had no idea. Okay, that makes sense that they looked it up and that went over my head. So then we do have two kind of like quick little scenes. The first one is after this, before we really get to Jax's apartment, and they go to Sweet Lady Jane, and I used to go here all the time. This is like a very common cake shop, but I think they just closed.
There's one in Santa Monica.
There's one in Santa Monica, but I think they closed the one that they were at, the main location, the WeHo one. But it's funny. I was actually just at a birthday this weekend, and they did have Sweet Lady Jane.
I mean, there's no way they could shut it down. I think there would be riots in the streets.
Well, speaking of riots, do you remember when there was a cake that came out that said Sandoval's a liar? Okay, so let me tell you guys a little bit of lore about Sweet Lady Jane. Sweet Lady Jane is like the go-to cake place for all the rich and famous people. I used to work on a show. All the cast members, they only wanted Sweet Lady Jane.
I worked for producers. They would only get Sweet Lady Jane for birthdays.
And apparently the cast of Vanderpump has said like the Sweet Lady Jane triple berry cake, which is like their most common one, is the one that they would have at all the birthday parties. Like, it's just like... Yeah. The fucking LA cake, I guess. When Scandival happened, Sweet Lady Jane came out with a triple berry cake in the shape of a heart that said Sandoval's a liar.
Ooh, that's funny. She's friends with Lisa.
Well, it's funny, but Sandoval said on his Vile Files episode that was like his final straw. And that's when he started like considering like getting a gun and stuff like that. Because he was like, which this is all coming from Sandoval. But he was like, imagine like a cake place is now making shit about you. Oh. So I think when I mean it's a fucking cake place, but I just feel like when I was watching this scene, it did remind, like, I could understand the significance of like, it might be just a cake place, but it is such a huge cake place in LA for them to have cakes that say like you're a piece of shit on it, basically.
If anything, that signifies the importance of Sweet Lady Jane. And so much here that I wrote down, holy shit, I feel like celeb sighting, there actually is a Lady Jane.
I never knew that until this episode.
I never knew that there was such a woman.
Or they probably just like pulled somebody's wife and was like, can you just pretend to be Jane? But so they go to this cake shop for Guillermo's birthday to pick out a cake, and Scheana is treating this as a wedding cake tasting for her wedding, even though she isn't even engaged. And what I loved so much is at the end, Sheena's like, do you think we could see like the wedding cake? And Lisa's like, no.
Yeah, she's like, no,
we're not doing this.
Can't, no time, moving on.
Then we go to Jet Rag, which is a thrift store on Melrose. I've been there like a bunch. It's pretty decent. Yeah. It is overwhelming. Tom and Ariana go thrifting together, and I think it is weird that they're on a date.
Okay. Do you know that TikToker that does like trope scenes from indie films?
Yes. Yeah, Delaney Rose. Is that her name?
Yes.
She has brown hair.
And she does one with a guy now that's like the insufferable girl guy best friend in an indie film who fall in love at the end together or whatever.
Holy shit.
It was giving that so hard. I was like, this is stupid. Like,
they're on a fucking date.
I, in fact, gave them audacity points in this scene.
As they should. Well, yeah, because they're like trying on sunglasses, being like, do you think this is cute? No. Wait, try on that hat. Like, and then they're kind of shitting on Kristen while they're there too. Yeah. Like, don't tell your girlfriend, whatever the fuck they were saying.
Yes, which goes to my theory. I think it was bigger than we think.
It was bigger than yeah, 100%. It's not a good look. All right, back to the supplements. Stassi goes over to take care of Jax after his hospital stint. Jax thinks he has cancer. Stassi decides she's going to throw out all his supplements because they're giving him cancer. She compares his supplements to cocaine and heroin.
This is what I'm saying. There's more to it. And it might just be that it's testosterone, but she would not say that if it's just whey protein powder. I mean, that makes no sense. Why would she be throwing all the shit down the drain?
It's definitely like, there's probably like pill. Yeah, definitely supplements. Protein powder. And she even says like, it's okay if you have one protein shake, but you literally drink them all day. Like, I don't think the protein is the issue. I think he's probably taking a bunch of pills and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what. What all has he taken?
Jax, I know you're listening.
What did she throw down that drain? Because it was a lot of different things.
Also, I hope he has a garbage disposal.
Yeah, probably not in those cheap apartments.
He was renting. The landlord got called.
And I was going to tell you, you know what it said for...
Hollywood.
Yeah.
I did notice.
Yeah, they said his apartment in Hollywood.
I think they lie.
Well,
his apartment definitely looked like it was in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So
again, pretty garbage disposal.
You know what? Here's what I maybe think. Now that we're talking about it, maybe Tom Schwartz lived in the Valley and everyone else lived in West Hollywood. And then when he started dating Katie, they moved in together. So that's why maybe in the beginning season, like maybe they call it Tom and Katie's apartment because Tom just sleeps over there all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. why do I care? Why do I care?
I don't know, but I support you for it.
Jax tells Stassi he wants a hug, not a lecture. Bitch, you don't call Stassi to come over to give you a hug. That's just not who she is. I do think Stassi was a bit tough on him, but knowing how he acted after this, she wasn't. Yeah. He needs tough love. He is a baby.
Yeah. I'm not to beat a dead horse here. Unless what the fuck is in those pills?
Unless, yeah.
Either she's being really weird about it or he's being not weird enough about it. But it depends on what they are to me. It just matters.
She just knows him so well that's why she's not taking it seriously. I understand everyone saying like, Stassi, you're being too hard on him. But like, Stassi didn't give Jax didn't give a fuck about Stassi when he got a fucking woman pregnant in Vegas.
He did not.
So,
in fact, he did not.
So then we have kind of like some intercut scenes between Stassi's apartment and Katie and Tom's apartment. Katie's over at Stassi's and then the guys are at Tom's.
And Tom says he converts Fahrenheit to Celsius. And as a math tutor, I just needed to point this out. Did you notice this?
No.
Tom Sandoval, he was saying that Jax exaggerates a lot, just like going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You double it and add 20, which is not even...
I'm like, wait, it's that simple?
No, it's not. He's thinking Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's 9/5, and you add 32. That's why freezing temperature is 32.
Wow,
I'm sorry, I just had to put.
Carolyn's a tutor.
The tutor in me came out, and I was like, what is he talking about?
Well, I will say that Tom's had a great quote though in this scene too, where Jax comes in and he's so like. Hi. And they're like ignoring him because they know he's gonna say some crazy shit, and he's just standing there and they're like cooking their food, blah blah blah, and Jackson's just like, I have cancer, guys. I have cancer. And immediately Tom and Tom go, great, I got dibs on the TV. No one takes this man seriously.
My husband Kyle was asking like, is it fun rewatching Vanderpump Rules season 2? And I was like, you know what, it's even crazier than I remembered. I forgot this shit even happened. I forgot this was a storyline.
It's like, I feel like in reality show these days, they will drag out a storyline for 10 episodes. In Vanderpump Rules, there's a new storyline every single episode. There's so much happening.
Oh my God, it's just
Jax has cancer. Jax is cheating. Tom is cheating. Kristen's cheating. Kristen's fired. Tom's in a band. This is all over 3 episodes.
And that is a sign of a legend Aries show.
Literally.
Oh, so good.
So yeah, they're kind of going back and forth. I just think it's an insane thing for Jax to say it so definitively. He had like one doctor's appointment. I have kids. And I thought it was so funny. He's wearing like this loose jacket with no shirt under it to like protect his nipples. And Jax also says during the scene, I hate goodbyes. Is he okay? No, he's not okay. I can't with the whole victim thing. And this is just the beginning of Jax victimizing himself over every single thing that ever happens on Vanderpump Rules.
Mm-hmm. And like the weird shutdown he does, like kind of sociopathic, like, feelings off, like when he talks to Stott. Yeah, exactly.
It's almost as if he knows he has 6 weeks to live. And he's grappling with that. He's really coming to terms with it.
He's on his own journey, figuring out what that means.
But meanwhile, Katie and Stassi are at Stassi's apartment, and Stassi gives Katie the tea and says the whole cancer thing is fake. But even Katie thinks that Stassi is being too hard on Jax, and even Jax needs kindness. If your best friend's boyfriend fucked another woman and got her pregnant in Vegas, would you then 6 months later say that he needs to be met with kindness?
Go nicer on him. Go nicer
He
on him.
sucks.
I would not be speaking about this man. I would have a rule that if our friendship were to continue, we can't talk about him.
That's another huge thing that I forgot about these early seasons is the sympathy towards Jax.
Yeah, it's weird.
It does show that he's smarter than we give him credit for. Like, he is master.
No, he is so good at manipulating.
But you know what about it? You know what? This is how I'm being manipulated by Jax right now. I don't even think he's trying to.
Yeah.
I think he's so good at manipulating that he doesn't even know what manipulating means.
That's why I said sociopathic, and I don't mean to like take that lightly. I know that's an actual
Well,
neurological.
doesn't Stassi
but
say
Stassi
that?
does the literal quiz for it, and he passes.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyways.
Where were we?
Next scene is at Sir. And Sheena tattles to Lisa that Danny is spreading rumors that Tom and Ariana hooked up. Lisa then goes and yells at Danny and gets her in trouble. And Sheena wonders why these girls don't fucking like her.
This is such a weird place for a boss to get involved.
Right?
Period.
Right?
The boss should not be involved in any of this.
Lisa is adding fuel to the fire by talking about this publicly.
Yeah.
She's literally refereeing a fight between Sandoval and Danny. And then Kristen walks over and Lisa's like, you shouldn't be involved in this.
Yeah.
Actually, Kristen's the only one that should be involved in this. You shouldn't be involved in this.
I know. Lisa brings in Tom from the sidelines to give reinforcements of like, well, how long have you been together? And without any spoiler alert, you can still fuck people and work at a restaurant together.
Right. Literally,
like, those are not mutually exclusive.
She goes, Tom, how long have you been with Kristen? I don't know, 4 years. See, it's impossible. He could never sleep with another girl. He's had a girlfriend. I don't understand. And Danny, I'm on Danny's side in this. Danny's like, hey, I'm just telling you what I've heard. These two hooked up. Kristen's pissed about it. She's pretending not to be like I'm just relaying the message here. Sorry, but it's fucking weird that Ariana's here now. Like, I get it. As someone like Danny who's not cast on the show, she's seeing all this play out for the show. So she is kind of breaking the fourth wall without realizing it, saying like, yeah, of course Ariana's being brought here to bartend because they have a past. Because you can't not point that out.
No, you can't. I also laughed thinking of this to myself. You know when musicians like throw down the like thing and like powder and they just appear? I feel like that's Kristen every time.
Holy shit.
She gets brought up in a conversation.
Holy shit.
It's just like,
yes.
She just shows up. And then it's time for everyone to talk.
I'm not going to be able to unsee that now as I watch. That is exactly what it's like. Because it does seem like she's just always there. She like sniffs it out.
Like it just pops up.
It's wild.
So good.
We have a quick scene in between the burlesque night at Sir. And it's Natalie buys Guillermo a car for his
this was so stupid. Except I saw the 9242 and I was like, why do I know that place? Why do I know that place? I saw the Mercedes place. I was like, oh, that was my office building.
Wait, really?
We worked above the Mercedes dealership in Beverly Hills.
Was it at the same time that they were there buying a car?
Absolutely not. But now that I know her, they both were there.
Yeah.
I will go back and praise it.
That's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm
say,
cooler than everyone.
Boots on the ground, baby. Boots on the ground.
On the motherfucking ground.
Okay, so now we're finally at the Surlesque burlesque night. The moment Sheena walks in, it's about her. It's about her. Wait, Guys, you didn't tell me there was gonna be hair and makeup. I literally did my hair and makeup. It took me so long. I'm not wearing that dress. I can't wear heels. My ankle's still broken. Flash forward to 2 seconds later, she's in hair and makeup.
Yeah.
And a dress.
Okay. On Sheeta's behalf here, I will say it is really annoying if you go to something and you're not told there's hair and makeup, if there's hair and makeup. But it's not this annoying. Like, this is problematic. Like, that should have been communicated to her, but she's going crazy.
But did she have to get the thing done? She wanted it because she didn't want to be left out. But it's like, if it took her so long to curl her hair, then don't put your hair up. The fucking hairstyle was ugly as shit anyways.
That's true.
But they maybe made her. Because I noticed some girls were and some girls weren't.
Well, yeah. It was all over the spectrum. And also, they looked crazy.
Horrendous. And I do think that is a common thing that the internet has agreed on, that this burlesque look is horrible. They look like Zorro with bangs and feathers on their fucking eyes. They look so bad. I don't understand what's with the lace thing. They look like the Hamburglar.
The hair on top of their heads.
Bad.
Like a slick back, but then put all of your hair right on top. It was very confusing.
But maybe that is like a burlesque look from like the 2010s, I guess.
Like that? Maybe.
I
hope
like
not.
It was too much. I think if they would have done one, like it was just so many. The hair was a lot. The mask thing was a lot.
The
eyelashes that were basically feathers was a lot. The outfits were a lot. Although I did like the sparkly pink dress, but maybe just choose one or two. You don't have to do all of it.
Oh my God, it's so funny. You know who this has written all over it?
Lisa?
No, let me find them.
Oh, their names. Yeah, tell me.
Alina, Marina, and Karina.
Alina, Marina, and
I
Karina.
think they had some creative say here. But I will say, if you are throwing a burlesque show to get your husband off with 20-year-old women, like, get a second look. You know? Like, someone looking at the makeup to make sure that actually is.
Well, okay, Carolyn, picture this. Picture what Stassi, Katie, Kirsten, they all look like. Mm-hmm. And then picture the interior of Sir.
You're right.
Identical.
You're right.
It is the same exact amount of tacky. If Lisa had any say, they'd look worse. I'm telling you.
Which they literally did, because they had the poor lamp girl the whole night sitting with the lampshade on her head. Did you even notice?
Oh, yes. I try to block it out of my memory. I love like doing the most. I think that's fun, but like it wasn't a good. All
I could think was, how much is that girl getting paid? It is not more than $100.
No, she's probably doing it for free. Put this on your resume. Use it for your reel. That's how shit was back then.
Oh God.
So the Inas, they decide to go get a drink, and they're flirting with Jax. And Jax, something must really be wrong, because he's not trying to fuck either of them. He must be really sick. That's when you know.
It's so sad to see him like this. God, poor guy.
It's so stupid. That is how you should act when you are pursuing another woman. It's not like, wow, something's really off. It's like, no, he's just not trying to fuck a girl for once in his life. Weirdos.
And we're all concerned.
Kristen confronts Danny about spreading the rumors about, her and Tom and Ariana, whatever. But Danny is still standing on business, saying, hey, I'm just relaying what I saw. If you don't like it, that's on you, but this is what happened.
And you know who else is saying that? Christina motherfucking Kelly.
Christina Kelly, give me more.
Give me more, Christina. Yes.
Christina's fighting. She's standing up for Danny. Christina is definitely like the bridge between like the girls that are cast on Vanderpump and the girls that aren't.
Yeah.
She's like the middleman.
She's like the real queen bee.
So Guillermo walks in and he's surprised.
He walks in saying, I don't like surprises, knowing he's about to get surprised.
His reaction was almost giving Danielle on the Traitors a little bit. Whoa!
Or the Kristen being told that she has to work with Ariana. Like that.
Yeah. For like being in Hollywood and being actors.
Oh, I can't.
Stassi and Katie do their little dance for Guillermo, and I feel like he's looking around making sure HR isn't there.
Or yeah.
He's cringing as much as I'm cringing watching. I don't think he liked it.
I don't think so either.
I think he was just like, cool.
He was just like, can we not do this?
But I mean, maybe it was because their performance was, in Sheena's words, terrible, which I'm kind of like, Sheena, don't shit on someone else's performance.
Yeah, don't throw rocks.
Don't throw rocks.
You should not.
Exactly. I do have something to say about this line that Lisa says.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That Guillermo is a guy who came to America with a dream, and he used to be a dishwasher. Do you know that that's not true?
That's not true.
Maybe it was true 25 years before that, but according to Kristen Doty, who did an interview one time, she said that Guillermo, and this is true, Guillermo and Natalie owned Sir before Lisa had anything to do with it. And Lisa became an investor. Sir means south in Spanish.
Yeah,
which is
sure does.
Guillermo's fucking language.
Oh, so
And then
Lisa just put on the sexy, unique restaurant.
Yes. According to this interview that Kristen did. Like what Lisa said wasn't so out of touch, but I think she needed to preface like, yeah, he came to America when he was 18 and was a dishwasher. It makes it seem like he was a dishwasher at Sir and now he's like,
yeah, that's what I thought. I assumed, I was like, damn.
No.
Also, but the math wasn't mathing on that either, so that makes a lot more sense.
Oh. Lisa tells Stassi to be nice to Jax, which is an overarching theme. Lisa always telling the girls to be nice to the boys.
Blah, blah. Moving on. Stassi goes to apologize to Jax, but it turns out it's going to be another argument between them about the drinking alcohol and the pills and the yelling in general.
She just wants a reason to berate him.
Yes.
But I do think that Stassi was a little knocked off her feet in this scene, though, because she's so used to being a fucking bitch to Jax, and Jax kind of getting off on it. We were actually talking about that last episode where it's like he probably watches BDSM because he loves when Stassi's mean. But now he's not taking it because one, he has 6 weeks to live.
Right.
So he's not taking her shit. And it's just like, okay, are you done?
Done.
And then he walks away. And you could tell Stassi was kind of there like, whoa.
And that made her excited.
And now she wants him even more. Now the chase is back on.
Yes.
He's not chasing her anymore. Now she needs to chase him. But we'll see in the next episode. He's already hooking up with other bitches.
Yeah, Jax says he is ready to give up on Stassi.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
We have a really good episode. Next episode, we've got Pride. We've got Jax dating. We've got The Float. We've got Ariana or Kristen confronting Ariana.
It's going to be so good. I also saw that clip of Jax. I'm assuming it was recently how he's going on a date. And he was like, but I'm not going to bring flowers. I'm bringing red flags.
Carolyn, I think Jax has hired a social media manager. I really do. Because his TikToks have been insane. And you can tell someone's writing them for him. And they're actually filmed kind of nicely. And did you also notice in that video where he pulls out the red flags, he's standing in front of a Cybertruck? Yeah. And then someone commented on that video, the red flag is the Cybertruck. And he responds, it's not mine. Well, then why are you standing in front of it? I think he hired someone, which I hope he fucking did, because this would be a great idea, that said, we need to lean in to you.
Yeah.
We
Your
need
brand is
like Sandoval's doofus said it on the Traitors. Let's lean into you being a fucking doofus. They're like, Jax, we need to lean into you.
We need to give you the doofus edit.
Like give yourself 10 minutes and just scroll on his TikTok. He was at like an art show making weird TikToks, and all of them are less than 10 seconds long.
I'm already obsessed.
It's amazing. It's
down that rabbit hole.
amazing. I'm so excited. I wonder if they're like, we need to do damage control before the Valley comes out. I don't know. Which I feel like that should be out soon.
I feel like there's no damage control for that situation. Says the girl who's never seen it. It just sounds like it's going to be a doozy.
You've seen the Valley.
I know, but this season.
Oh, the upcoming.
It just sounds like it's going to be horrendous for
Yeah.
him. As it should be.
I don't know though. Bravo has a way to edit men fairly.
Is true.
So who's to say?
Who's to fucking say?
Man, covered a lot of bases.
You know who doesn't?
Oh, I forgot about the sheet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know who doesn't favor the men?
Talk to me. The sheet.
The sheet. The motherfucking sheet.
Well, by the way, that's not the sheet's fault. That's editing's fault. But go on.
So true. Okay, so for season 2, episode 5, this is what we've got. Stassi calls her Russian dance teachers, Alina, Marina, and Karina, mail order brides. I didn't think that was nice. I gave her a 1. Kristen thought her DUI mugshot was so cute, though. I just thought that was funny. I don't even know if that's a delusion or audacity point. It's something. I'm going to give it a 1.
She's flexing on the fact that she has a mugshot. So.
And a DUI. Like,
yeah.
We
don't joke about DUIs.
It's a no-no. Jack says he's going to have surgery for a lump in his chest before they've even given him x-rays.
He was probably still in the waiting room when he made that call, by the way.
I gave him a 1. I didn't go harsh on him because it is scary to have a health scare. So I don't want to be insensitive to that. But like, That's crazy.
No, it is.
Ariana and Tom, audacity point to each for them saying nothing's going on with each other, 1-1. Jax takes weird supplements. I don't know what these are, but it's said so much that I feel like I got to give him a point for it because he's not doing something right.
Yeah, something's wrong there.
Something's not going well if there's truth to this. Stassi yells at Jax about his effing sweater line when he's scared he has cancer.
Oh, I forgot about the sweater line.
I did have to give her a 1 for that because I had to agree with Katie. It was harsh at the time.
I will say he did, regardless of what happened or not, he did just get out of the hospital, and she was a bitch.
She was
finding any reason to be mad at him.
She deserves to.
So I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Yeah, there needs to be some retribution there. Sandoval confidently states the conversion. I'm such a loser. Sandoval confidently states the conversion equation from Fahrenheit to Celsius and is absolutely not correct. Audacity point 1. Sandoval lies, saying he's never kissed or hooked up with Ariana. Never, ever. And we know that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm giving a point. Kristen slithers up out of nowhere to enter this argument with Lisa, Danny, Tom at work. I just thought it was funny and slithery. 1. Sheena throws a prolonged tantrum that there was makeup and hair provided for the burlesque show when she spent time putting on her lashes and doing her hair. 1.
I feel like we didn't spend enough time talking about that. It was so extreme.
It just kept going.
Yeah.
It was the Energizer Bunny. Kristen tries to blitzcrank Danny at work over her saying she thought Tom and Ariana had chemistry. Again, a 1. Another fight at work. That'll just get you on the board. Okay, so for totals, we are having Stassi at 2, Jax at 2, Sheena at 1, Kristen at 3, Sandoval 3, and Ariana 1.
Interesting.
Running.
Not a high scoring app.
No, it wasn't a lot because I didn't want to keep giving points for someone thinking they had cancer. Like I can only give like 1.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
And kind of cut it off. So running totals, we have Stassi with 13, Jax at 22, Sheena at 13 as well, Kristen 22 as well. Oh, Jax and Kristen are tied, and Sheena and Stassi are tied.
Honestly, as they should be.
That's hilarious. Sandoval's at 19, Shorts 2, Katie 2, Ariana 6.
What's your highest point, a 3 or a 5?
I give 3. Wait, no, how many? Like 3?
Oh, you give like 1
threes.
5 a season or whatever?
Yeah.
I would, if she was on the list, Natalie's getting a 5 for me this episode.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, exactly. The most people that would have been on here are like Lisa, Natalie.
Yeah. If Natalie was on that list, that bitch is getting a 5 for forcing her employees to dance on her husband.
We would have to shut this podcast down and like report it to someone.
Yeah. If this was happening in real time, I would contact the Better Business Bureau because they are not doing better business. But that was the times, you know?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
Can't get away with that stuff anymore.
Is what it is.
Hollywood's just not what it used to be.
Nope. For better and worse.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Sick.
Sick. Fucking sick, dude.
What are you
Next
looking forward to this week?
This week, I'm looking forward to having my husband here because he's been out of town.
Where's he
all
been?
Last week. He's been in fucking Winnipeg, Canada.
Why? For work?
For work.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
What's the temperature there? Tell me in Celsius.
It was, in Celsius. Fuck it.
Do
Times it by 2 and add 20.
Do they do Celsius in Winnipeg?
Yeah, they do.
Well, what was it?
But in Fahrenheit, I think it was like -20.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will say, for those of you not located in LA, the weather has been amazing.
It was like 80 degrees on my thing on the way here.
It was so nice.
A heat wave is coming in.
I saw a comment on TikTok, like, because yesterday I was at a brewery and I was outside, and I just felt like everyone was outside.
Yeah.
And someone commented and said, I can't quite explain it, but today felt like 2016.
Oh,
do you know
that
what I'm
gives
saying?
Me chills.
Like, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
Oh, why is that like an emotional thing to say?
Right? It triggers something in me too. I'm like, wow, 2016.
Oh, God, nothing matters.
Brittany and Jax just met.
Yeah.
She moved to LA.
We can still drink like Stassi's mom.
Ugh. 2016. God, you never know you're in the greatest moments of your life until it's done.
Yeah. They say youth is wasted on the young.
Ain't that? And on that note, I hope you guys have a real 2016 filled rest of your weekend. We freaking love you. Thank you for being our fans. Thank you for liking, subscribing, rating, sharing, all the things.
And being gabbers.
We
We love you.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.